Hello, this is Spellsquires MTG, and today I'm going to be looking at the ban list for Commander. In my opinion, this is a very good ban list, and it doesn't ban anything objectively broken. It only really bans things which are unfun to play against or are just stupidly powerful in multiplayer format. So our first card is Ancestral Recall. 1 blue, draw 3 cards, instant speed, incredibly powerful. It's just too much card advantage on one card. You're only really going to draw 1 card for 1 mana, really, at our current rate. So, definitely understandable why it's banned. Balance is 2 mana for a sorcery. Each player chooses a number of lands he or she controls, equal to the number of lands controlled by the player who controls the fewest, then sacrifices the rest. Then players discard cards and sacrifice creatures the same way. So, for example, I have 4 lands and my opponent has 8. We all sacrifice down to 4. He has 4, I have 4. I've got 3 cards. He's got 6, so we both discard down to 3. And then he's got 6 creatures, I've got 2. We both sacrifice down to 2. I don't have to sacrifice anything. This basically just balances the game, so it's in the name of the card. But 2 mana for this is too undercosted, and it's from Alpha, I believe, so it wasn't really understood how to power level cards like this. Very powerful card there. Next we have Biohorrhythm, 6 green, sorcery. Each player's life total becomes equal to the number of creatures he or she controls. Probably too easy to run out. Shaman of the Forgotten Ways, which is a mana dork which taps for 2 mana. If you've got Ferocious, you can pay 8 as well and do exactly the same thing. You can just outright kill people with this. Let's say you board wipe, play a 1-drop, then cast this. Everyone else is going to die. You're going to still have all your creatures left. Kind of understandable. This is one of the cards I remove if I had to remove a card. Next up, Black Lotus. 0 mana, tap to add 3 mana. Most expensive magic card, understandable. Just get fast mana too quickly. Dual Lotus isn't as good because it's only field commander, but this is any spell. So you can do stupid things really early. Next up we have Braid's Cabal Minion. 4 mana 2/2. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices an artifact, creature or land. Just creates very unfun environment. This is another one of the cards which I'd take off if I had to take off a card. I mean, there's a card which does the opposite, which is more of a group hug player deck. This is more of a group slug, so you're making everyone die as quickly as possible, but everyone's taking the hits from those cards. It's understandable why it's banned. It's unfun to play against. Let's have Coalition Victory. This is definitely the card which shouldn't be on the ban list. It costs 3 Wooburg, so 8 mana, and you win the game if you control a land of each basic land type and a creature of each colour. Most of the time we should just do nothing, because it's very difficult to get all of those conditions, so I would unban this if I had to unban a card. It'd definitely be this one. Next up we have Channel, 2 green. Till end of turn you may activate a mana ability. You may pay 1 life if you do add a colourless to your mana pool. So this was used in combo with Fireball, where you could play a Black Lotus turn 1 under the land, sacrifice Black Lotus for 3 green, cast Channel. You then pay 19 life, adding 19 mana. Then the land you play has to tap for red. You then use the red to cast Fireball, and then you pay 19 and the 1 from the Black Lotus to then finish your opponent off on turn 1. That's why Channel Fireball is called Channel Fireball. Not as good as in Commander, but paying 39 life on turn 1 with a Lotus Petal, for example, you can do a lot of crazy things, like run out Eldrazi or something, or just a combo to finish out the game on turn 1. Too powerful in my opinion. Definitely should be on the ban list. Next up we have Chaos Orb. This is a dexterity card. You can it costs 2, pay 1, flip Chaos Orb into the playing area from a height of at least 1 foot, and it must turn completely over at least once, or it is discarded with no effect. And when it hits the table, any cards in play that touches are destroyed, and Chaos Warp is also destroyed. Obviously, this requires people to pick up the card and then chuck it on the ground. Definitely understandable why it's banned. This is a mechanic reserved for silver bordered cards, like Unstable, because not everyone can get off the table and flip the card. So you want to be as inclusive as possible. Next up we have Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn, 15 mana, 15/15, can't be countered, take an extra turn after this one when you cast it, perception coloured spells, flying Annihilator 6, when it's put in your graveyard from anywhere, shuffle it into your library, along with your graveyard. Very powerful card. The fact that it can't be countered, it's a 15/15 with haste effectively, because you get the extra turn. You also get another untapped, and if you do attack, there's no chance of that player coming back. 6 permanents is massive. Incredibly powerful card there, understandable. Next up we have a Raos, Soratami Ascendant. Whenever the 4th spell of a turn is played, you flip it and counter the first spell played by each opponent each turn. Incredibly powerful. They cast a spell, gets countered, and then you can cast something else. So it just makes an unfun environment again. So that's why that's banned. Falling Star, again like Chaos Orb, does the same thing. Very similar. Fast Bond, green, you may put as many lands into play as you want each turn, and it deals 1 damage to you for each land beyond the first that you play each turn. This just allows insane turn 1s where you could play this, plop out 4 lands, play an Omnath Locus Creation, and then do other mad stuff with it. Just like Black Lotus, it's mana too fast, so I can see why this is on the ban list. Flash, the most recent addition to the ban list. This combos with Protean Hulk. So you pay 2 mana, instant speed. This can be a turn 0 combo, so before the game even starts, you can do this with Gemstone Mines and a Spirit Guide of some sort. So you could put Protean Hulk onto the battlefield. There's multiple different combos you can do. The most famous one, or the one I know, is Nomads on Core, Thassa's Oracle, and Cephalid Illusionist, where you target the Cephalid Illusionist with its 0 ability, redirecting a damage to it, and you just mill your whole library, and then you win with the Thassa's Oracle trigger. It can be done on turn 0. The CDH community asked this card to be banned, and that's why it remains banned. It doesn't really do much outside of CDH, so there was no real harm in it being banned. Next up, Gifts Ungiven. Search up 4 cards of different names, reveal them, target opponent chooses 2 of them, and then put the chosen cards into your graveyard and the rest into your hand. The reason why this is so good, you search your library for combo pieces where the pieces are interchangeable. So you probably search up, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but the combos which also work from the graveyard as well. So if you've got a Reanimate or something, you can return something back to the battlefield or something. So you can get all the combo pieces out of your deck at one go, which is why this card is so good. Obviously, if they put the particular card you want, you can just get it out again. Kiki Jiki, for example. You could search your library for multiple things, like Hyrax Tower Scout, Village Bell Ringer, and Zealous Conscripts, and a Kiki Jiki. And you could have a Reanimate in hand, or you could replace one of those combo pieces with a Reanimate. So no matter what combo they give you, you've always got that. So let's say they picked the Kiki Jiki and the Reanimate to go in your graveyard, you might have something else in your hand, because the 2 untapped things wouldn't be that good. Grizzlebrand, 8 mana, 4 black. Legendary creature demon, flying lifelink, pay 7 life, draw 7 cards. Basically just Necropotence without the downside. Basically a Yawgmoth's bargain. but you have to pay the 7 to draw 7. Drawing 7 cards is utterly ridiculous. You can go so deep in your deck, find combo pieces, find ways to finish off the game, and it's possible to get this out really early as well. I can totally see why this card's banned. I own a Shield of Maria, banned before Flash, costs 9 mana, it's a 7/7 flyer. When it enters battlefield, you choose a colour, and then your opponents can't cast spells with the chosen colour. So you can do a combo of Painter's Servant, where you name a colour, and then every single card is that colour. So you can choose that colour, your opponents are locked out of the game completely. Or you can just target a monocoloured deck if you don't have that. Unfun, stops your opponents from playing a game. Definitely see why this is banned. Caracas, pretty obvious. This format's all about legendary creatures. Tap it, return a legend to an opponent's to its owner's hand. Basically just bounce commanders as they come onto the battlefield. Two very, very powerful. Right, good old Leo of old, Emissary of Trest. 3 mana, 3/3, black, green, blue. And then each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. Whenever you or opponent you control becomes the target of a spell of ability or opponent controls, you may draw a card. So it's just Narset, so you can windfall. Weird everyone's hands, they can't draw the cards, you do. So you refill your hand, they don't have anything left. And then if they try and get rid of Leo of Old, you just draw more cards to answer their destroy spells. And it just makes Commander very unfun. Let's have Library of Alexander. Tap to add 1 colourless mana to your mana pool, draw a card from the library. You may use the card drawing ability only if you have exactly 7 cards in your hand. This is very good because Commander, every single colour, you're probably going to have a lot of cards in hand. If you've got your deck built properly, you're not probably even playing white either, because white is definitely the worst colour. But this just provides card advantage for 0 mana basically. Well, 1 mana because you don't get the mana from the Library of Alexandria. Next up we have limited resources. When it comes into play, each player chooses 5 lands he or she controls and sacrifices the rest. And as long as there are 10 or more lands in play, players cannot play lands. This basically just stops everyone from playing more than 5 lands. And if you play this on turn 1, by turn 3, only the people who go first and second aren't able to play lands. Just stops them from playing completely. Lutri the Spell Chaser, card from Ikoria, also relatively recently banned. Costs 1 blue-red, and each non-land card in your starting deck has a different name. You basically just meet that requirement instantly, so any red or blue deck which wants to run this can run this. And in battlefield, if you cast it, copy target instant or sorcery spell you don't control, you can choose new targets for the copy. It's just completely free for blue and red decks. Right, next you have the Moxes. These cost 0 and add 1 with the respective colour. As powerful these are, they could probably be removed due to availability. CDH would probably be a problem though. Paradox Engine. 5 mana, whenever you cast a spell, untap all non-land permanents you control. Cloudstone Curio and 2 0-cost artifacts. This just goes infinite immediately, make infinite mana. Basically just Cloudstone Curio combo. You can do loads of other combos, I can't think of any off the top of my head. But if you played against this, it basically just makes the game unfun because it's just a game of solitaire, one person's just playing. Panoptic Mirror, 5 mana, imprint, X, you may remove an instant or sorcery card with converted mana cost X from your hand from the game. If your upkeep, you may copy an imprinted instant or sorcery card and play the copy without paying its mana cost. What you could do is pay 5 and then imprint it for 5, put Time Warp in here, just take infinite turns. It's way too easy. Way too easy. Search the Panoptic Mirror, put a load of extra turn spells in your deck, and you just take infinite turns just by doing that. Very, very difficult to get out of a lock like that, so I can see why it's banned. Primeval Titan, 4 mana, green, modern staple. Trample, whenever it enters battlefield or attacks, you can set your 2 land cards. Any land, doesn't specify basic. ordered forest or something, and put them on battlefield taps, and then you shuffle your library. This basically just stops your opponents from catching up at all. So getting 2 lands for 6 mana and getting a 6/6 trampler is very powerful. And of course, if you've got haste, you can search up things like Valakut, kill your opponents with Valakut, Field of the Dead, get a load of zombies. It's just very, very good. Right, Prophet of Kruphix. This basically says, your turn is now my turn. It's 3 green and blue. Untap all creatures and lands you control. During each other player's untapped step, and you can cast creature spells so they get a flash. So basically, everyone else's turn becomes your turn. So you have 4 turns per turn rotation. Everyone else only gets 1. It provides an incredible amount of advantage. And your opponents can't really catch up. So most games used to be able to just rush, play Prophet, try and get Prophet of Kruphix out, and then just completely obliterate everyone with Thrasios Triton Hero or something by getting so many lands into play they just can't catch up. Next we have Reoccurring Nightmare. 2 and a black, sacrifice creature, return it to your hand and put target creature card from your graveyard into play. There's numerous things you can get out it that betrays, Pervious Great Worm, Worldspine Worm, just to name a few. And it's just recurable as well, like it's in the name, Recurring Nightmare. Very powerful card when it came out. Played in a lot of combo decks. You can get a combo piece out with this, especially if it's out of your graveyard as well. You can fill up your graveyard with something like Sidisi, Undead Vizier, and mill yourself for loads, make loads of zombies, use those as sacrifice fodder, and just bring massive stuff out your graveyard. Very difficult to catch up with, definitely. Next we have Raphaelis, Llanowar Emissary, 2 green. This is another one which isn't amazing. It's probably one of the lighter cards on the ban list. So you can tap it, add 1 green mana to your mana pool for each forest you control. Play this on turn 2, it already taps for 2 mana. Turn 3, by the time you get on tap with it, taps for 3 mana, 4 mana, 5 mana, obviously you're ramping a bit more. Just a very good ramp card. You can do many things with that. Right, next we have Shahrazad. I'm not going to read this card, but it basically makes a sub-game in the game. I'm not going to go particularly deep into it, but making sub-games just makes the game even longer. So we have the stars. Each player shuffles his or her hand, graveyard, and permanents he or she controls into her library, then draws 7. And each player's light total becomes 7. So this basically just resets the game, makes everyone angry, and puts everyone at equal footing again. And it's just generally annoying having to restart the game. You've been playing for 2 hours, someone casts this, game goes on even longer. Often Commander games are fun if they go on longer, but not if you have to start from the beginning again. Next up we have Sundering Titan. When it enters or leaves the battlefield, choose a land of each basic land type and destroy those lands. It's basically you could flash this out. Sorry, I just had to stop there. So you can flash this out, basically just obliterate everyone's lands, and then they just can't come back again. Very similar to stuff like limited resources or balance, and just makes unfun play patterns. Next we have Sylvan Primordial, 7 mana. When it enters the battlefield, for each opponent destroy target non-creature permanent that player controls, and for each permanent destroyed this way, you search over for a forest card, no system say basic, put it on the battlefield, tap and shuffle your library. So basically you get to get something from everything and get 3 forests. Very powerful. Games used to be just a race to get this out as well, like the Prophet of Kruphix. Every green deck wanted it, so you just wouldn't not include it, so that's why it's so good. Next up we have Time Vault, 2 mana, tap to gain an additional turn after the current one. Timefall doesn't untap during untap phase. To untap it, and you skip a turn. It's got something with charge counters now, so you can proliferate the charge counters. You use things like Voltaic Key to untap it, so you get infinite turns. Again, very broken. Time Walk, 2 mana, take an extra turn. Don't need to say anything about this. Next card. Tinker. So 3 mana, sacrifice an artifact. Search for an artifact card and put it to play. Could be Blightsteel Colossus, combo pieces, anything. On turn 3, that's very difficult to deal with, like a Blightsteel Colossus. And if you've got Lightning Greaves on battlefield, kill someone instantly on turn 3. That's probably not the only thing you can play, but that's all I can think of for the moment. Tarian Academy, I don't know why you're so interested in sending me to the site here. Tap, add blue to your mana pool for each artifact you control. Artifact decks, stupid mana, stupidly quick. I think if this is on the ban list, Gaia's Cradle and Sarah's Sanctum, probably not Sarah's Sanctum, but definitely Gaia's Cradle needs to be on here as well. I'm sorry for all those people who own Gaia's Cradles, but there's no reason why, if artifacts don't get it, then why shouldn't creatures? I mean, artifacts you can protect them easier, but creatures you can play more of, because they're more flexible, I'd say. Trade secrets. Target opponent draws up to 2 cards, then you may draw up to 4 cards. Then that opponent may repeat this process as many times as he or she chooses. So basically, you could encourage your opponent to do this. They don't know what's coming for them. I'm not entirely sure why this card's banned, but there's probably a very specific reason. Oh, other than drawing 4 cards for 3 mana, that's probably it. Probably got nothing to do with repeat, but very powerful card. 4 cards for 3 mana. You usually have to pay 4 mana for 4 cards at the least. Upheaval. Another, basically just restart the game. Return all permanents in his hands. Simple. Bit like Wildfire. Exile all permanents. Exile all cards from all hands and graveyards. Each player's life total becomes 1. Basically just a race to get a 1 drop and then kill other people before they kill you. Give your almost bargain. I talked about this earlier. 6 mana, skip your draw step, pay 1 life, draw a card. Basically just better Necropotence, because Necropotence costs triple black. So now we're going to talk about cards I think should be on the ban list. Possibly Necropotence from the card draw it provides. Gaia's Cradle. Probably Demonic Consultation as well, because of the combos and unfun play patterns it creates in CDH. Not a problem in casual tables though, so it's probably not high priority. And also we don't want to particularly be just banning cards outright, as it puts a bad impression on the game. Wizards printing overpowered cards. So I hope you enjoyed this episode about the ban list today. I think that'll be all. Thank you for watching and goodbye.